Hello again. It is still Friday. I just changed my shirt because I wanted to be able to um, tell the different video from the previous ones I've recorded today. I was thinking about yesterday and how I found the Where the Wild Things Are t-shirt and how it brought back, a lot of memories. And last night I remembered a couple more, so I thought I would just share that. I was thinking I might do this occasionally, like a Sunday story or something like that. But so again, I was extremely, I mean, I cannot stress how extremely sensitive I was and still am. Like, I will worry about strangers that I don't know from anything, when I hear like something in the news or whatever, and I will just worry about them and pray for them and think about them all the time. And I'm just weird, I don't know. But it's kind of also, I also think that there's a possibility that I may be autistic or have Asperger's or something. But anyway, um, so I'm going to start with the slightly less dramatic thing. Um, in fact, it was so traumatic that I blocked it out until I was probably in my 20s, maybe early 30s, believe it or not. And then I went and I asked my mom, I said, Mom, did we go see this movie? And she said, Yes, we did. And you were not happy about it. I was really young. And so, most kids, you love Disney. So she took me, she thought she'd take me to see Bambi. And of course, she had no idea, what happens in that freaking thing. And especially if there's an animal involved, like a lot of people, I'm just, no, you know, can't do it. So, needless to say, I don't even know if we finished the movie. I just remember getting to that part and just losing it, and just crying and oh my god. So I don't know if I ever finished that movie. I think there was one point I went out, when I was older, and I bought a copy. I think that's what brought it up. I bought one for my kids, and um, I think my mom, had said, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" Because I thought, Disney, nice, fun. And she said, "Okay." And then, that's what made me think of being in the movie theater and not liking that. And my youngest son is the exact same way as me, so sensitive, the autistic one. And so I remember I started watching it when I was older, and I could tell that, a sad part was coming, and I learned this trick. And I still do it to this day. When I know there's a sad part coming and I can see it from miles away, and I just click fast forward and look away. Give it a minute, and then come back and the sad part's over. So that's what I have to do these days. I can't deal with that stuff. So the other thing that I remembered, which was a freaking nightmare, like I can, say and talk about it, but I cannot explain how traumatizing and horrible that was. My mom and I and my father went to live with my grandparents because my father was in the military and he was going to be, what do you call that, stationed overseas for a while. So my mom wanted to go, stay with her parents and, be with them. And they unfortunately took me. I don't know how these people never learned. And I mean that with the utmost love and respect, It's kind of funny now, but at the time it sure wasn't. They took me to I don't know if you'd call it a play, but it was a Western thing. And, they act out, stuff in the Wild West. And there was this one guy, and he was arguing with another guy in this, acting thing. And they had a thing that shoots, if you know what I mean. And they fired at that guy, and he went down. And that was it for me. That was it. I lost it. I was screaming and crying and devastated and traumatized and everything. And, people kept telling me it's not real, it's not real. But I just saw it happen in front of my face. It was real. And, oh my God, I will never forget that. And like I said, I don't know what the heck my family was thinking. They should have known better, And that guy, got up probably quicker than he was supposed to because I was so upset. And, kept looking at me, like he wanted to come over and say it's okay, But I was devastated. And the fact that he got up, it didn't change anything for me, And my mom kept telling me, it's okay, it's not real, they were playing, and no, they weren't. And oh my God, I was just horrified that I saw somebody, in my mind, removed from the earth right in front of me, Ugh. If you have sensitive kids, please don't do that. They will never forget it. Oh, God. Yeah, that was not fun. And clearly, it is still very vivid in my mind. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that. It is, like I said, funny now, but it took a long time before it became funny, let me tell you. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta get busy. I'm kind of procrastinating. I think I'm gonna go turn the water on, though, at least get that going. So hopefully I will see you soon. Bye.